And one of the best examples of siege warfare comes from during the Crusades. One of Norway's kings, King Sigurd Jorsalfar, or Sigurd Jerusalem-farer, living in the late 1100s, in fulfillment of a vow, brought a force of 60 Viking ships and 10,000 Viking warriors into the Crusades. That 10,000 number might seem high, but by 1100, Viking ships had been built large enough that they could carry as many as 200 or more in a ship. But they answer the call to the Crusades, and the accounts tell of how King Sigurd and his men are feasted at a special banquet by King Baldwin. At one point, Sigurd approaches King Baldwin of Jerusalem and offers to him, "I will take for you any city of the Muslims you want me to take." And he said, "All right," and he names what was probably the most difficult of all, a seaport city with huge walls rising right out of the Mediterranean Sea, named as Sidon. And he said, "Take Sidon." Well, as I say, the Vikings were experts at siege warfare, and they took Sidon with very little difficulty. Sigurd's main disappointment in the crusade was that all throughout his time in the Mediterranean, he wanted an opportunity for a sea battle against the Turkish fleet. Never got that. Sea battle was the area where they knew they excelled, and even though the Turkish ships were larger, the Viking ships were far more mobile, and he knew he could win a sea battle. Well, on the one occasion when a battle came up, the Turkish Sultan looked across the ocean from his fleet. He saw these 60 dragon ships rowing toward him, and he turned his fleet around and fled. And anyway, so they never did get that opportunity. Today we are facing a world where individual freedom is almost becoming a byword, where you hardly even know the meaning of liberty in the sense that our founding fathers understood it. We see centralization everywhere. We see socialism everywhere, including, I'm sorry to say, in Scandinavia itself. But today, more than ever, we need that Viking spirit. We need that commitment to individual liberty, especially once we understand the Christian faith and we understand what true Christian freedom really is. Time? That'll be a good place to end. I'll end with just one final statement that I think you'll find fascinating. I spoke about what true Christian freedom really is. I'm going to give you something to think about here. Freedom is not simply the right to choose. True freedom is the result of making right choices. Thank you. Good afternoon.